Hello, 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 and welcome to another episode of What Do You Call It podcast. I'm your host, GB. It is bloody boiling at the moment. So if I do sweat buckets during this interview, I do apologise. I've even got the fan on, but I've had to put the fan on low so it doesn't create too much background noise. So you guys should appreciate me still doing this
Can
interview.
you hear my fan?
No, I can't hear your fan at all.
Oh,
Didn't,
okay.
even before recording, didn't even clock onto that. So
Okay.
and today's guest is not just going to be talking about a fan. She is the queen of intergender wrestling, the first and current championship extreme wrestling women's champion. Please give up for Luna Trix. How you doing?
Hello. I'm excited. I'm nervous.
No, that's all good. No, thank you for coming on. You did have to rearrange this, but we've got today, so it's all good. There's no rush when it comes to these interviews. This means allows us to talk about more since the time period is supposed to have it, so it's all good. We're both in the UK, so you can kind of vouch for me that it is pretty hot at the moment.
It's boiling. I'm dying. So
It's not great. It's not
it'll
great.
be fine. It'll be fine.
We're better to do this. We're better to do this. Before I rewind the clock, normally I discuss how you got into wrestling, basically the
Oh
origin
God.
of yourself. But I want to discuss a recent title match that you had because I was
Yeah.
actually at the show, and then
Oh, are you?
so it was actually a fatal four-way originally, but then ended up being triple threat against Nix and Nina Samuels. Met last
Yes.
for the CXW Women's Championship in my county, by the way, Essex. So, as I just said, I mentioned I was supposed to go to the show. Unfortunately, I couldn't make it. I actually spoke to Tim Strange, supposed to meet him before the show. That wasn't my time. So, but however, there were many attendants, nearly 500 there. And I'd like for you to tell me about the match and what went down during the show and how did it feel to retain.
God. Am I supposed to be saying this is like a normal person, or is like
It's up to you, honestly. Like, it's if you want to say as a normal person, that's absolutely fine. But it's
I'll do it as a normal person because it's easier. Um, I love Tim Strange, by the way. He's lovely.
He's
Like
so
he's so
good.
nice.
I couldn't tell about his accent. I was like, I thought he was ripping me at first. I was like, you fucking Irish or something. Like, I just,
he he's just like a giant bundle of fun.
he's so
Like he's so nice. It was a really fun show. That it's always fun. It's one of my favorite places to go because they're all like everyone's really nice, and the promoter like he puts on a barbecue for everybody, and there's always beer and wine and like for after and water, and everyone in the locker room is like super duper chill. But I
yeah.
actually had a really bad experience.
Oh really? Oh, do tell, do tell.
so so it was like 10 minutes before we were due to go on,
Yeah.
and I'm putting my boots on, and my zip on my boot just breaks, just snaps off in my hand. And I'm like, I don't I don't have any other boots with me. Like we're about to go on. And then the promoter's like on the door, like, girls, you ready? You're up next. And I'm just there with like one shoe on, like, oh my God, what am I gonna do with my life? I have to wrestle in socks. And I was wearing like bright pink fluffy socks. I'm like, this is
I'm gonna
not
say
good.
it'd be a good night for anyone with foot fetish in the crowd.
Oh God, yeah. But like, so luckily Paris, the promoter, he got the match that was on after us to go on before us.
Mhm.
And then Nina Samuels, who is like the nicest person in the world,
Yeah.
spent 20 minutes stitching me into my boot.
No way.
Yeah. While I'm just there like panicking. Oh God, it was an experience, that's for sure. It was
That's
it
fucking
was
cool.
something.
Yeah. Don't hear anything bad about her at all.
She's just carries a sewing kit with her, and she was just like, "Don't worry, we'll get it sorted. You'll be fine."
He's been
I'm
there
just there
before.
like,
It's happened to her. Definitely.
but the whole show was so much fun. The match was so much fun. Nix and Nina are both lovely people.
Mhm.
I just love that promotion, to be honest. It's
We
a
will
great
talk
place
about
to
the
be.
promotion a bit more because you were the first women's champion for that promotion, and it was obviously
Yes.
highlighted as well. But I do want to rewind the clocks now and discover when Luna Trix became a wrestling fan.
So I'm not a wrestling fan. Um, I I'd never really watched wrestling before, and
Yeah.
then I was drunk one night in a pub, and I heard a guy that I know talking about this wrestling malarkey, and I was like, "Oh, that sounds like fun!" Like
Yeah.
just like with a gin, like, "Oh, I could do that." Oh. And
Got a bit
then
amazing.
on the Monday, he messaged me like, "We'll come along to training then,"
Mhm.
and I didn't even know what a clothesline was apart from like what I put my socks on, and I did a 2-hour session. I just absolutely loved it. It was
Really?
just so much fun, and
So you
yeah, that
never
was
interrupted
like
any wrestling prior to you in a bar having gin watching it?
I so my husband liked wrestling, and he
Yeah.
used to have like watch parties and people would come round and watch it, and
You've
I'd be
done
like,
well.
oh, what a load of shit.
Got a man
And
that
I
likes
just
wrestling. Thumbs up to that.
I'd just like go upstairs, like I'm not watching
Yeah.
that. But now I'm like obsessed. I love it. I love this world.
What did you find to be some of the hardest things when you were training to be a wrestler? So take into account that you actually had no knowledge. No, sorry, I'm trying to again. No knowledge. I think I got no knowledge of speaking, but you had no knowledge. Wasn't a fan. So did you find it to be more difficult in terms of learning the moves, the actual holes, the correct
Yeah,
terms, even?
yeah, massively. Like I didn't even know. I thought a pin was just like lifting someone's leg up. Like that's all you had to do. So my coach was like laying on his front, and I'm like, I just lifted his leg, and I'm like, is that not? Is no one counting? Like what? what? What is this?
Yeah.
Um, I didn't realize it was shoulders down.
I can hear some
I
finals right now either rolling their eyes or tapping that fucking keyboard really, really hard.
but I think it made it harder for me to like learn stuff,
Mhm.
but it made it easier for me because when I started performing, I was then thinking of it as a random person that had come along to wrestling first time ever to watch, and that gives me an idea into what people would like to see,
Mhm.
to get like new audience members involved. So I think that's a positive thing, maybe
It's a really
a
good
little
way of
bit.
learning it, to be honest, because I know, like, obviously, it does help being a wrestling fan when you become a pro wrestler. Obviously, it just kind of goes together, doesn't it? But
Yeah,
at the same time, casual viewers are just as important. You want to
yeah.
that experience as well. Someone who's never watched wrestling like yourself, and sort of be introduced to this world that's just completely chaotic.
Especially in like indie wrestling as well. Like I know with CXW, Paris goes round and does like door-to-door sales and things, and a lot of the
It's just
people
macho, man.
they they've never seen wrestling before.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of new people in the crowd. So it's really important to sort of capture their interest and
Mhm.
keep them coming, and not just think that you're performing to hardcore wrestling fans.
Yeah.
I
It's
think.
really important, especially those kids as well. Like they don't care what's going on backstage or how many ratings this match got. They just want to
Yeah.
pull the bad guys and cheer the good guys.
They just want to have fun.
Yeah, and I think that's so important in wrestling.
A
Like
hundred
everything
percent.
has to be a technical masterpiece.
Mhm.
It's black and white. Just go back to basics sometimes. It really does help, and it still works in 2023. Nearly got that
Yep.
wrong. It's hard, leave me alone. But no, that's cool. That's cool. When did you make your official in-ring debut then?
December 2019.
Oh wow.
Um, it was a gauntlet match, and it was an over 18 show.
Oh, I bet that must have been quite hard because, especially when alcohol's involved, some people just get a bit brave and lippy at those shows.
No, it's really easy because I've got tits, so like I was just over straight away. Like I didn't even have to do anything. It was it's true. And I just specifically remember people shouting, hit the ropes, hit the ropes. And I was like, why are they shouting to hit the ropes? And then I hit the ropes and they were like, yeah, look at that bum. I was like, oh.
Oh, fucking hell.
And like I wasn't very good.
Yeah.
I didn't understand like
You became a fan
anything.
favorite just to
Like
debut then.
it was just silly stuff like selling. I'd like take a bump and be like straight back up, like, oh, what's next? What's next? But I think I've got a bit better.
The fans
I
and it
hope.
gave you that confidence. I mean, fans like
Yeah.
kind of embraced it and ran with it. I can imagine like not just those kind of comments, but just any kind of comments, good or bad, in your debut, can potentially throw you off and be distracting.
Yeah.
It's like you suck, you can't wrestle, and I'm not going to mention things sort of shout at you, but you get my point. Though it can be.
Yeah, no, everyone was really nice. The
Yeah.
crowd were like really nice. So that was fine.
That's one thing actually I want to do ask because you get funny stories and reactions to this. What was the reaction of your family and friends, considering that you never really liked wrestling, and then he's like, Oh, I've had some gin. I did
Um,
the day after, or a few days after. What was their reaction to this?
so my parents still think I'm absolutely nuts,
Yeah.
and they don't. They think that I'm going to get hurt all the time. So they've only
Yeah.
ever been to one show before. And I broke my ribs on that show, so they've never
So
been
they were right.
back. And then my friends, like, some of them think it's like the coolest thing in the world, and others are just like, "What are you doing to
Right.
yourself?" And I'm like, battered and bruised.
Yeah, broken ribs, but it's like it was so good though. It,
Yeah.
I got shot, I got abused by fans, broken ribs. Really, look, I want to step next week. It's like fucking normal. But no, wrestlers just like it's normal, isn't it? This sort of behaviour.
Mhm.
Not
It
that
is. It's
I
just,
mean, I'm just a podcaster, but just talking to wrestlers and doing yourself, it's fun.
yeah, it's so much fun. I love it so much. I can't imagine doing anything else now.
No, that's fair. I like that you've fully embraced wrestling. You love it now, and it's
Yeah.
something you need to do. Um, I actually do want to go back to what I said in the intro, the queen of intergender wrestling. Now, it's become more common over the years to see men fighting women. I spoke about it in the podcast, not many times, but here and there. And I've always said that if it's done right, I'm a fan of it. If it's executed well, then awesome. But I know some people more in the older generation, that mentality is like it shouldn't be men versus women. But I want your take and your sort of views. Someone that does do this and obviously has the moniker of Queen of Intergender Wrestling. But just talk me through it. Sort of why it's something that you don't mind doing, you actually enjoy doing it. And if you wanted to convince someone that sort of was negative towards it,
Oh God. Oh,
you become the spokesman.
okay.
Just put you on the spot again.
Okay, so where I train, there aren't any girls.
Yeah,
Well, one started now, but when I first started training, there were no girls at all whatsoever. And if intergender was like a big no-no, then I wouldn't have been able to wrestle like at all.
yeah.
So it's a shame that there aren't any girls. Like we need more girls,
Mm.
but why should I not be able to do something just because I am the only girl? And then when it comes to wrestling the guys on shows, like you said, as long as it's done properly,
Mhm.
there's no problem with it. I think everyone just needs to focus on the beauty and the art of wrestling
Yeah,
and stop worrying about the sex of the person.
yeah. No, great. That's good way of putting it. Because if you do watch some of the reactions that they get, like the fans love it.
Yeah.
I do find the girls always way more baby faces, but sometimes it can work the other way. I mean, we've even seen it on national television with China and Jericho, and there was I know she's not very popular at the moment, but it was really well done. Tessa Blanchard, and so like she was going against like Sammy Callahan and Brian Cage, and she was having phenomenal matches,
I
excellent matches.
definitely know who all of those people are.
Um, I love it. I love it. But yeah, no, as long as it's done well, doesn't do any harm to anyone. That's it. It's
Exactly. And
you look
like
at something like Cornette. Does that name ring a bell?
who?
Jim's. Let me try this again. Jim Cornette. He's an old
Is
school.
he the reviewer guy?
Yeah, yeah. So he has his opinions on that sort of thing. So that's why I'm more of a modern person in terms of that take and if it's done well. But what I'm saying,
Yeah.
I don't like it. But I think most people don't really give a shit. If it's done well, everyone's happy.
No,
Yes, who gives a shit?
exactly. Yeah. It's all fun. Let it be fun.
If any girls listen to this right now, I'm just going to follow up what you said. If any girls out there and they listen to this and like, do you know what? Trish can do it. I want to go to the school that she's going to and not make her the only woman there. What school would that be if they want to join us?
That is Outcast Pro Wrestling on the Isle of Wight.
Awesome, awesome. And do you know what their social media handles are, just in case?
Outcast Pro Wrestling on Instagram, Facebook, and www.outcastprowrestling.com.
You've done this before. I like it.
I think it might be .co.uk. Google it.
Just reminds that saying like Wayne's World. We're like, oh, we're not selling out. We're not selling anything. Um, God, I'm old. I'm just showing my age now. But no,
What's
that's
Wayne's World? I don't know anything.
you've never seen Wayne's World.
No.
I'm not even gonna ask your age because then I have to tell my age. I don't want to.
I'm probably older than you.
And you've never seen or heard of Wayne's World. Michael Myers.
I don't think so.
podcast. So it's one of my favourite films. I was really baffled. I've actually met someone that has never seen Wayne's World, but I'll shut up. I'll shut up about Wayne's World. So we actually began the conversation about you in the triple threat match for CXW. Now, one thing I didn't touch on, and I said I'll leave later on to the conversation, is you actually being the first women's champion of CXW. Please tell me, how was that? It's a brand new promotion, and you've been positioned because, one, they trust you, and you are going to be the face of the women's roster. So how was that when you found out, and how was it to win?
Yeah, I don't know why, because I'm a bit shit. Like, um, it was like, it's so amazing. Like, being chosen to represent a company is like the biggest compliment that you can be given.
Yeah.
And when Paris said about it, I was just like, what? Like, it's an honor and it's lovely and I love it. And it was a super special moment. Because like I've won the Outcast Pro Wrestling Women's Championship. That was amazing, you know, because I had to compete against, I don't know, me, because there was no other females. So
Was
then
this
to
you in the
win,
ring? Just like, oh, okay.
yeah, literally. So then to win one, an outside promotion as well, with that kind of crowd and the talent that's on there as well is just absolutely phenomenal. It was really touching. It was wonderful, and I will be forever grateful.
Outcast. If anyone wants to be my wrestler, take that. Shout out there. So I know you're big into horror, and I'm going to ask you a fun question. I'm going to link it with wrestling as well.
Okay.
If you can pick one horror character, so one scary character, whoever you want, to be
Okay, so
partner. You already know this, don't you? You already know.
no, I hate horror.
What?
So right, yeah. So I stream horror games
Yeah.
because I hate horror so much that I visibly like just have a fucking panic attack and like shit myself, and it's so amusing that all my friends love it, which is why I stream the horrors. But I actually hate them so much. Like, it makes me sweat and jump and set up like jump scares and stuff, and it's for fun. But horror films and stuff, like, I can't even watch them. I try, and then
Really?
I just get too scared. I'm like
What's
like a
your
child.
most hated horror film then? I'm gonna have to tweak the question and save my ass a little bit because
So I watched oh god, I hate it. So I watched Paranormal Activity like years ago, and there's a scene in it where I don't really remember, something to do with a loft hatch, and there's a loft hatch in my spare bedroom, and I like can't even look at it even now, like years later. Every time I go in, I'm like just avoiding it. So I don't really know many horror like characters. Um, no, I don't really know any horror characters. I don't really watch films.
we get with that with Wayne's World. Just sorry, I'm just it's in the back of my mind right now. Like, just I don't really get to mention a lot of the podcast. When I do, I expect someone to know. Like, yeah, fucking hell. Okay, so I'll move on for the horror films, but I will ask one of my famous questions. This doesn't have to be about wrestling, by the way. This can be about anything.
Okay.
If you can pick 3 dream dinner guests for your dream party, dead or alive, fictional, non-fictional, sorry. It could be your neighbor, it could be a cat, doesn't matter. You're the host, 3 people, and I also want a reason as to why you want them there. But you're the host, remember that. You're going to pick these people's brains and you're making them dinner.
Okay, easy. It'd be my granddad because he's dead and I love him, and then my uncle because he's also dead and I love him, and then my other great uncle because he's dead and I love him, and then we'd just all eat cheese on toast and have fun.
Never had that answer so quick and sharp. And
Was it supposed to be someone like really interesting?
no,
Like,
no,
oh,
no, you're the
you
host.
know,
You can pick anyone.
I can't even think of any famous people that are interested. I don't really know famous people either.
Because I've had people say like, "Oh, I'd actually have my granddad as well, and I'd have my dad there, or something like that." Something meaningful. Like, you're the host. You can have anyone there. Doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
I'll have those three. Oh, throw my hairband. I'll have those three. Yeah, it's fine.
Ah, wicked, wicked. So, just a few more questions and I'll wrap this up. But I want to ask, as you are the current CEW champion, I'm trying to say
X.
CZW. CX.
X.
I got it wrong. No, I'm just completely thrown off. Just
I was like, CEW. Oh, am I? That's a new one.
it was a new
Fabulous.
promotion. I'll be their champion as well. Yeah, sorry, yeah. So CXW. Who in the UK scene right now have you got your eye on? Who do you think would be a good competitor for you and your title?
Oh my God. I
Don't
don't
have to
know.
just be one person, though, but just I'm talking about challengers.
There's like loads of girls that I like love and would love to see come in. Like Shorty from Coventry Pro Wrestling. She's amazing. Mia Cortez is amazing. Obviously, all the girls at Progress are like outstanding. I don't know them. I just watch them like wow. They're all really good. Kiara's amazing.
Yeah, yeah, really early
uh,
podcast. Very touched.
hang on, my husband's. Who have I forgotten? Who have I forgotten? Oh yeah, Millie McKenzie is absolutely banging.
Yeah, good to have her back in the UK scene from NXT one.
Yeah. Um, there's loads, there's tons. There's loads of like really, really good girls out there that I'd love to see part of CXW have like a super strong women's division.
Not CEW. Though.
No.
But it's one of the most like fuck offs I've made in the podcast. But I just think I've been thrown off a little bit. But it's good. It's good. I like.
All because I don't know Wayne's World.
No, that's gonna ruin my night. Honestly, just don't know Wayne's World. Do what you want to do this interview. No, it's cool. It's good to speak different. It's all good. But is there anything you'd like to promote? Anything you want to say? Anything you want to plug? Now's the time.
Wrestling. Um, I don't know. Shows. I'm in Wales this weekend for Exposure. We've got an Outcast Pro Wrestling show next weekend, which is an over 18s, and I'm in an Anarchy Rules match with the Virus Kane. That'll be sick as fuck. Um, there's a really cool festival coming up soon called Rock and Wrestle by World War Wrestling that I'm gonna go watch. That's really cool. Everyone should go watch that.
Where's that? That sounds quite cool. Well,
That's
like a day festival and just.
it's like a 2-day festival. They've got music, wrestling, camping. Like, I definitely know exactly where it is. I don't need to look at all. Just quickly. Oh Lord. Oh God. Panic. Rock and wrestle. Rock and wrestle. Where are you? Stoneham Barnes Park. Stoneham Barnes Park in Stowmarket.
I'll
That
be
that
good
looks
that
really
after.
good.
I'm not even gonna pretend I know who that is.
That's like in Suffolk.
Okay, not
It's
that.
like that way.
I thought I'm in Essex, so yeah, it's going up, yeah.
Yeah, it's near. Come along. Yeah, it's great. What else? I should have looked at things and stuff. Lockhorns. Lockhorns wrestling.
Where are they based?
They're oh God. That way, like far that way, like 3 hours away from me. Facebook them. They look really cool. I'm debuting there. I'm really excited. And Kapow. Doing stuff with Kapow. Kapow's really fun.
That's a cool name. Well, promotion.
I've probably forgotten stuff. Sorry.
It's fine. It's fine. It's cool. If they do want to keep up to date with you and your shows and your Twitch and whatever you got going on in the next few months and over the summer, where can they find you on social media?
On Instagram.
At
It's just search TRIX because I'm not sure what it is.
It's cool. It's cool. No, that's cool. That's cool. So, if you want to find what TRIX is going to be up to, she'll actually have the details on her social media. You can stay up to date with her, see what she's got lined up as well, and who she's going to defend the CEW. I'm joking, CXW. I won't fuck that one up again because if they do listen to this, I am sorry. Just it's the heat. You can see I'm sweating.
Oh, Paris gonna kill you.
Yeah, you can see it already. That's grim. Oh, grim. But no, thank you for coming on. I do appreciate it. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day. For everyone out there that's listening to this episode, thank you. If you can follow TRIX on her social media handles, I'll put them in the description below. If you can follow me, also my social media handles. in the description below. That'd be fantastic. See what I got lined up, and just an episode where I'm just not laughing constantly. But it's a good sign that I've enjoyed it, so you can't complain. But everyone out there, try to sign off.
I swear I do this to everyone. Like,
for everyone out there, sorry about the sweat patch as well. Thank you for listening to this episode. I hope you all have a great evening, morning, afternoon, weekend, weekday. Doesn't matter. Just take care. Peace. Hello there. I've got a special announcement from my next guest.
My name's the Machine Bryce Maddox, and I will be appearing on the What Do You Call It podcast.
You had.
I'm gonna fuck that up. You know that, right?
It's fine. It's fine. We've got many takes. It's cool. If you do, then it's cool. We'll
Okay.
just try not to make me laugh as well, but it's fine.
I can't help it.
Right, let's give this a first go. We might get it the first time. Let's try.
Okay.
Hello there. I've got a special announcement for my next guest. That felt fucking miserably. I do this for every. It's what I ever do.
Right, I've got it. Got it.
Hello there. I've got a special announcement for my next guest.
Oh, now
She had it. She was ready.
one more.
Hello there. I'm going to include this in the credits of the 4 episode. Hello. Right. Hello there. No, fucking hell. I like people.
Hello there.
No, I do this for every choice. Right.